After yesterday's full of promise qualifying, has Baku turned into the land of false promise? McLaren blew the chance, Piastri's blown everything, Norris blew a pit stop. Luckily, one man came to save the day. The smooth operator is back. And this is View from Luffield, I suppose. Yeah, let's get it done.
Yes, welcome everybody to View from Luffield. We will try to go through that race because that wasn't exactly anything to go by. Just before we do, a little bit of a plug as we always do before every episode. Now, on Sunday the 4th of October, is it the 4th? No, it's not. Sunday the 5th of October It's 2 weeks today, yes, Singapore Grand Prix. So we will do the Singapore Sunday giveaway. You know the rules by now. Just comment on this video saying Singapore Sunday and you will have your opportunity to win both a McLaren Speed Champions Lego and a Ferrari Speed Champions Lego. I would show them on the screen, but I don't have them with me right now, so I do apologise. But that is what you can win. And then also go to Whatnot on the evening of Sunday the 5th of October and check out Dave's DT Collects channels, and there's an opportunity there for you to also win another McLaren Lego Speed Champions. We should have collaborated on our prizes as well as what we're collaborating on, but hey ho, you can win one with us and then you can win one there and you can have two McLarens and maybe you can drive one into a wall. So let's go through the race. Let's go through the weekend first, because I think it's fair to say that we can probably pick a little bit more out of qualifying. Can
we?
Firstly, record for the most red flags in a qualifying session. I think prior to that was Imola, I think they said, with 5.
More red flags than a P. Diddy pool party.
Yeah, there was. It was literally like, one for you, one for you, one. This is my problem with street circuits, and I do love Baku. I'm not going to have a negative word said about Baku. I actually do like this circuit. I've liked it since it came on as the European Grand Prix, if you remember. But this is the problem with having too many street circuits. I thought the Gasly one in qualifying that brought out a red flag, I know it was right at the end of Q1, but that, to me, that was quite innocuous. That wasn't...
Yeah, I mean, you could say the same about Behrman's, though. I mean, it from what I can remember, didn't he just brush a wall?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose it was more the fact that he pulled over at the side of the track.
Yeah,
but again, if it's not a street circuit, we've got more runoffs.
Yeah.
So he's dealt with quite quickly. He just probably double yellow that section of the track, tell everyone not to belt it down there, and then you keep the session going. I mean, I think I saw a stat that said the race in 2024 was 93 minutes long. Something I might have got the numbers wrong. And qualifying yesterday was 118 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Karen Chandok yesterday made the joke, didn't he, that this will be longer than the race tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was quite... I mean, it was interesting, especially when the rain came in. I'm jumping forward, Lewis admitted that he was on the wrong tyre because of a run plan in practice 2, so he was stuck on softs when everyone else was running... I mean, running mediums as a faster tyre is weird in itself.
Yeah.
When the rain came, though, firstly, massive congratulations to Williams on that front row. That was clever. And this is where Carlos Sainz proves his worth. This is the driver that they wanted to sign, was someone who, under immense pressure, and he's not scored points in 7 races up until this race weekend. It's Canada. Put him at the sharp end of the grid, and he will boss that team. It wasn't a phenomenal lap. It was just, here is my solid banker, and then all hell broke loose, didn't it? Leclerc found a wall that no one else found all weekend. Piastri found a wall, which is so unlike Piastri, by the way. This weekend has been...
I was going to say, we'll talk about Piastri in a second, because again, like you said, that went on into the race as well. So we'll pick up on Piastri in a sec. Just going back to what you said about Sainz, and that was that experience, that he's done it, that know-how, he's done it before. Do you know what I mean? And it was that whole, this isn't about being quick. I mean, we spoke after qualifying yesterday. The whole, nobody's lap, even Verstappen to an extent, and someone will turn around to you and say, oh, but it was a quick lap. Of course it was a quick lap. It was pole.
It was quick. Of course it was.
But my point being, nobody was, and what everybody should have done was just, having seen, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Behrman, Piastri, Leclerc, all these people bringing out a red flag at some point in quali. It was just a case about getting a solid lap in. It didn't necessarily have to be quick. And in the same way, fair play to Carlos Sainz, like you say. Fair play to Liam Lawson, because he did the exact same thing. Yeah. And that was just about getting one in. And obviously, fair play to Max Verstappen. In those sort of situations, he bosses it. And to be fair, I thought McLaren just had showed none of that this weekend, with an opportunity to get the Constructors' Championship sealed. I thought, and again, I'm just being specific to qualifying because we'll touch on the race in a minute, but in qualifying, I thought Piastri, that's just not like him. And then when all Norris had to do was just go and get himself in the top 4. We've seen winners at Baku from 4th place on the grid. Go and get yourself a top 4. Don't worry so much about it having to be quick and whatever else. Just put a decent lap in. There was a bit of an oversteer where his back end wobbled out on, I can't remember what turn it was. And then it was so close to hitting the wall himself. And I think he did actually kiss the wall a little bit.
He did brush the wall, yeah.
At 15. And it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, that just needed cool. It needed cool, calm. Take 4th, take 3rd, take whatever. And just have done with it. Just accept that you're not going to get pole today. And it was just pushing too hard and inevitably got himself nothing. But fair play, like I say, fair play to the top 3. I thought Verstappen showed why he's a 4-time world champion. I thought Sainz showed that he's a lot better driver than we've seen this season for Williams. We've been quite critical at times.
We knew that. But we know he's better than that. That's why we've been critical, I think.
Fair play to Liam Lawson as well. I thought fair play to him for getting third.
And massive fair play to Antonelli as well, just for being there or thereabouts with Russell all weekend, especially in quality. One thing I will say, I'm going to ask you this, I mean, both of our teams this weekend, to go down the bias route for a minute before we pick up on the rest of the weekend. Down the bias route, it feels like squandered opportunity for both of us. I don't know if your guys were so hell-bent on the constructors that they forgot they've just got a bit soft. It was all race going, go and race, go, especially Lando. This could have been the killer blow to Piastri's season, especially after Lando's engine in the Dutch Grand Prix. Yeah, this was his chance to get himself back in level footing, and it just again Ferrari. You look at the practice sessions this weekend, qualifying. It didn't work out well, but the car looked quick. Yeah, but you you get into the race, and yet again. You're starting too far back. There was race pace there, but you get stuck in the DRS train, which I'll pick up in a minute because there's something else I want to get on there. You get stuck in the DRS train, they couldn't get past. I actually think Ferrari's rear wing was so good that when they opened the DRS, it seemed to slow them down. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, on both, I think you're right. I think Ferrari just. It's again, and how many times have we said it? We can't be the only people in the world saying this. No. Ferrari, there's no point in showing us on a Friday that you've got good race pace. There's just no point. And I know the McLarens had problems on FP2, which takes them out of the running, and that puts the Ferraris 1-2. I'm not saying that's the only reason the Ferraris are 1-2, but when the McLarens aren't there, it does give someone else a chance. But you can't take that chance and then come to qualifying and just be as bad. I know Leclerc's is a mistake and whatever else, and you get punished for them around the track like that. But Hamilton was awful in qualifying. Like, it's just I've been quite. I keep towing the line a little bit. I keep trying to be quite nice to Lewis because he's a 7-time world champion and he deserves all the respect in the world. But then to go back, he's a 7-time world champion. Like, this is it for me now. It's getting to the point where it's unacceptable to just say he's still getting used to the car. No, I don't think he is. I think the mistake was made that he ended up on softs when the medium was the faster tyre. I don't think whether it's his age, whether it's the car's not quite good enough, he could make up that gap that he needed for Q3. Had he been in Q3, I actually believe Hamilton would have been up there with Max because he'd have just gone and done a lap. That's where the experience would have come in. But yet again, due to failures, whether it be Lewis or whether it be Ferrari, he's not there to take advantage. And that seems to be Ferrari's season. I mean, Leclerc's what? I don't know if he still is because of Russell's result. Is he not the highest person in the championship to not win a race?
Possibly, and that's for. I mean, again, well, he could be actually because we've only had Max, Piastri, and
George has won a race.
Yeah. Say again.
Russell's won a race. He won in Canada, didn't he?
Oh yes, he did. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah. In which case, then, yeah, he probably is. Even if Russell's overtaken him, he probably is.
Of course, yeah. It doesn't really matter
in the World Championship. I mean, the one thing for me, I can see the frustration you've got as a Ferrari fan that for me it's not acceptable anymore. And I know a lot of people have given up on 2025. I get that. I do get that. The constructors is gone, whether they've won it today or not. And I'm wearing this 9 times constructors world champion t-shirt before it's out of date. But yeah, I mean today. The constructors is gone. We've said that for a while. So It's just, why not give the drivers an opportunity? And for Ferrari they've not let them. I don't think they've given them, whatever it is, whether it's the drivers making errors, whether it's a team making errors, it's constant. I feel like we constantly say on this channel, what did Ferrari do wrong this week? It's like almost we should have
yeah.
And it's got to be annoying for you. Switching
too many years of it, mate. That's the problem, you know.
Switching gears to the McLaren point of view, and then we will talk about everybody else because this isn't a McLaren race at all. I think Oscar Piastri, I don't know what on earth you've done this weekend. Can someone please give us the real Oscar Piastri back? Because I don't know who. I think we've had Oscar Pistorius today. Awkward. I think because you look at qualifying. He doesn't make. We've said that Oscar Piastri will not make the mistakes that Lando Norris needs to win the World Championship. He's made 3 this weekend. He's made 3, and that's the problem. As he made them all, I suppose that's Lando's problem. As Oscar wiped out all of his mistakes now. But yeah, I thought he was poor in qualifying. Shocking mistake from him. The false start. I mean, what are you doing?
I mean, I feel for Alonso, to be honest with you, because he's jumped because the car in front's jumped. You know, even Chandok said, you know, if someone in front of you is going, you go.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I think, you know, we can all sympathise with him for being a little bit premature. We've all been don't watch this and tell me you haven't. But
I sat there crying, apologising.
yeah. What happened again? But yeah, I mean, that's poor. And then locking up. I mean, the thing is as well, both of his crashes were lockups. Like there, and then don't get me wrong, the wind everybody was telling us was horrendous. The track temperature was about 16 degrees less than it's been in previous, and that is massive for an F1 car. But I'm sorry, they're driver errors, and you don't expect them from a world champion. I'm in a critical mood. I've been critical of Hamilton. I'm going to be critical of Piastri, and now I'm going to be critical of Lando. Qualifying was awful. I'm sorry, we've said this. You just need to put in a decent lap. That's not good enough. If you want to try and win the World Championship, that's not good enough. And then in the race, I thought he was soft. I think I can understand it to a degree because I think he probably thinks once Piastri's out, I don't make points if I'm out the race either. So I understand the cautious approach to a degree, but at the same time, you've got to, that again. Yeah, I don't think he pushed enough. I thought the idea to extend so they had more time on the hards wasn't great. The pit stop was appalling. I mean, just frustration as a McLaren fan. Pure frustration.
What got me about Lando, and this is the bit that's going to stick, and unfortunately I'm feeling a bit critical like you. You know, we seem to have woke, which is funny if you look at the result from last night in the football, by the way, just to point out to everyone. Norris fluffed it after the safety car, because even on the reruns, Leclerc drove past him as if Norris had pulled over for a pint of milk. And from then he ruined his race.
Yeah, agreed. He completely forgot that we were meant to be trying to have a race. Yeah. But I just think poor showing from us this weekend, and I think you're right. I think they need to get that constructors done in Singapore, because then they can turn around to both the drivers and just say, right, you go back to being race drivers. So let's stop talking about McLaren and Ferrari, because it was a poor showing from both teams. So let's actually concentrate on who did do well. Question for you. Actually, 2 questions for you. Number one's a bit of trivia. Max Verstappen won the Baku Grand Prix from pole for the first time since who and when?
Oh, nobody ever.
That's not true. It's been done twice before. Not by Charles Leclerc, despite having pole 4 times in a row.
Right, it's got to be a Mercedes.
Yes.
It's got to be Bottas.
It was. Can you guess the year?
Oh. 2019. No, when was 2019?
Yeah, it was 2019. I thought you were going to change mine. Yes, it was 2019. Bottas. Everybody else watching this has just been well bored whilst we're waiting for you to answer that. But no, good.
Everyone's watching thinks we set that up. And by the way, I did not know that was coming. So
no, good shout getting that. Yeah, so Bottas was the last person to win from pole. So fair play to Max Verstappen for that.
God.
I think fair play to Sainz and Lawson for getting second and third in quali. But I think the minute it was that, we knew that Max Verstappen was just going to run away today. And it was a vintage Max Verstappen 2023, 2022. You know, those seasons where he's just absolutely walked away with it. It was a traditional what we used to see.
The incredible thing was from Max today is you could hear on the radio he was doing just enough. He didn't hurtle down. He could have left Sainz 2 seconds a lap because Sainz wasn't interested in going after Verstappen.
Yeah.
But he didn't. It was just like eking out the gap, looking after the tyres, eking out, don't put any stress on anything. You know, stay well clear of the walls, and lo and behold, he delivered a Max Verstappen masterclass again.
Yeah. It was
How many times have we seen that?
It was a typical Max win, wasn't it? To be fair, and I will give credit because I don't think we give him enough credit. I don't think either of us don't like him. I just don't think either of us rate him that highly. Certainly in like future world champion status. George Russell, because he's had COVID, rumoured to have had COVID. Mercedes have confirmed that it's been a respiratory illness, which I thought COVID was. They've said it's not
driving if he's got COVID.
Well, they've said it's not COVID, but he's got a respiratory illness. He's not appeared at any of the driver briefings. He's not done any media stuff this weekend. He has clearly avoided everybody as not to impact anyone. And let's be honest, whether it's COVID or not, if it's a respiratory thing, I know if I get the flu, I'm like dead on the sofa for like 3 weeks, and you know I need my mum to come and look after me. So, in fairness to George Russell, he's just gone and raced in a Formula 1 car and brought it home in second place.
Yeah.
So fair play to George Russell. I will give him credit for that. I'm not a massive George Russell fan. I don't have anything against him. I just don't think he's Piastri, Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc level personally. But there you go. Fair play to him.
He's Albon level, and that's a compliment. Sorry, I was just saying he's Alex Albon level, which I think is just below that higher echelon. I'm sure there's going to be comments now having a go at me, but
that feels really harsh. That. I don't know why. I don't know because in my head when
Alex Albon is a class driver who's been
I agree. It's just when you said Albon level, that felt like I don't know. No. I know you meant it as a compliment. It's just when you said it, I thought, oof, that's bold. And we have to do it. We absolutely have to do it. Before we go on to actually, because I did say I had 2 questions. One was the Bottas one, which you did well at. The next one. Is Max Verstappen sneakily just tootling himself back into the title race? It's 69 points he's behind Piastri now.
I want to say yes. And in fact, I had a question that I wanted to ask you that's just come back to me. I want to say yes, but I think it's too little too late. But I think he's going to make it exciting.
Is it 7 races now or 8 races?
7 left.
7. So he needs to outscore Piastri by 10 points every race on average to do it.
What he needs is for Piastri and Norris to start going toe-to-toe with each other. And at the moment, they're doing the best at avoiding each other.
But if McLaren win the Constructors in Singapore, that actually, weirdly enough, might be the best thing for Max, because then McLaren will just say, Papaya Rules is out. You know what I mean? We don't care now. Like... Go and do whatever you want to do, arguably.
Yeah, so, you want.
And that could work to Max's advantage. Go on, what was your question you had for me?
Did Red Bull sack Horner too late?
Are you talking about Serial Gate, or are you just talking about in general?
I'm talking about this season. I'm talking about performance. I'm not Serial Gate. Of course, they should have got rid of him straight away as soon as there was evidence. But that's not. Yeah. I'm talking. If you look at the turnaround and the way that Lauren Mekies seems, as we called, by the way, we said he was going to turn this around. Is a genius. look, he seems to have given Verstappen the freedom to choose what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And Verstappen seems to have chosen win.
The only problem you've got with that, I guess, and it's a very good question. It's hard to take Serial Gate out of it. Yes, because the minute that happened, they should have got rid of him. And as Laura Mekis, and did they need to go in a different direction? It's hard to say because Max won the World Championship last year, and were Red Bull looking at 2026 and saying, let's write off 25. The McLarens are in spaceships. I don't know. No, I don't think they did. I think if Serial Gate wasn't an issue, I think he'd still be there. And you can't discredit how good he is as a team principal. Everything he's done for Red Bull. So I'm going to say no.
All right, no, that's right. I'm not saying he was a bad team principal, by the way. And what he delivered was absolutely sensational and not to be frowned upon. He built Red Bull. Yeah. But Laura Mekis seems to have. I mean, look at Tsunoda. Let's go with that.
Yeah, Tsunoda had a great race today. The one thing I will say is if Christian Horner wasn't WhatsApping people asking what colour the knickers were, I don't think he'd have been sacked. So I don't think there was I don't think there was any question of his performance. I think there's just a question of his character and his, everything else about him as a human being. And if that doesn't come out, then Red Bull, I don't think they've got a reason to sack him. So I'm going to say no. After that run. Let's get on to it because we've got to praise him. Carlos Sainz, driver of the day, hero of the day. And I will actually, in my critical mood set today, I will actually say it's about time, Carlos, because no, he's.
I'll give you that.
Whether it's been his fault, it's not always been his fault. It's not always been the team's fault. It's not always been weather. It's been a combination of things with Carlos Sainz, but. It's about time. I'm not saying it's about time he got a podium because that's probably expecting a little bit
too much. He delivered.
But it's about time he delivered something. We said at the start of the year, we forgave him a lot, probably because we both like him, let's be honest. He's a likeable character. So I think we'll probably...
He's my future husband.
Yeah. I mean, I still have problems with him leaving McLaren for Red Bull, for Ferrari, but whatever. That's just because I'm bitter and I want him back. But yeah, I think it is genuinely... It is about time that Carlos Sainz, I think, delivered something above what we expect him to do. And fair play, brilliant performance for him today. I think from the minute, like you said, he wasn't bothered about keeping up with Max, but he was able to. He was doing enough to stretch that gap, knowing that Lawson was going to be the one that faced the pressure behind, sort of knowing that if he needed to close Verstappen, he could. All right, Verstappen probably would have shot off into the distance if he did, but it was just knowing that he sort of had that sort of with him. So, no, Carlos Sainz, I mean, driver of the day, the scenes at the end of the race where he runs about 30 miles to
bloody hell. That's what was on fit now, doesn't it? Verstappen it was a nice run, but you expect that from Max. The fact that I think Sainz would have overtaken Bolt on his way to Williams. And it hurt a little bit. I know he's had podiums with you as well, Andy, but it hurt a little bit when he said, that's my best podium.
Yeah.
You sat there as the Ferrari fan, cuddling your number 55 cap, going, Carlos, why? Why have you done that to me, Carlos?
Yeah, I have actually got a McLaren t-shirt downstairs that says 55, so I will set fire to it later after he cheated on us with Williams. Carlos,
why would you say that, Carlos?
But no, it was good to see him back on a podium, and I think, we said he's better than Williams. No disrespect to Williams, but he's better than Williams. So, he will be at Williams next year. But it'd be good to see him up there, and I think Williams has secured that fifth now as well. If I'm honest, I think I will put the championship and constructor standings on the screen. But I think Williams have confirmed that fifth, not officially, but.
We did say they were close to blowing it. Look, Carlos has stood up at the right time and shut us up completely there. So thank you again, Carlos, for completely double crossing us.
Yeah. But that's what it needed, and that Williams were really, really, really close to blowing it. So Carlos, I think fair to say, driver of the day today. And I think other than that, I think really the race
happened.
You wanted to make a point about DRS trains because I feel like I'm going to agree with you.
No, what I'm saying is this yet another point that we've been banging on about in other races all season where the 25 cars should be buried?
Yeah.
I don't know what 26 will bring. These could be appalling, but we need something.
we've said it week on week on week, and I did say it to myself. I actually thought, I was watching the race and I thought, I can't say it again on the episode because we will lose viewers. But it is. It's another track that it's another track that proves that we're screaming out for the 2026 regs. I'm bored now of DRS. I'm glad DRS is going. Because it was boring that I mean, the only person who tried an overtake in anywhere else on the track other than the DRS zones was Albon and Colapinto, and it was a nonsense move. It was silly that from Albon. I could get the frustration. I get that he'd spent, the previous 643 years behind Franco Colapinto, but
who drove well?
He did. Ansonoda did. And Stroll kept out of trouble. So fair play to the Chaos twins.
Was he on the track?
Right, exactly. And I don't know if that's because Stroll deserves credit or if that just summarises what type of race we had today in Baku, which is a shame and it's another one. We've had Belgium that didn't give us anything, which is such a shame. We had Baku today that's not giving us anything, which is another shame. And we kind of, I don't want to say this because we've still got a championship to win, still 2 championships to win, but it feels like it's sort of petering out a little bit. Even Piastri's retirement today didn't give us any excitement, really.
No. I remember kind of going, oh my God, Piastri's out. And then Norris didn't do anything. It felt like poking the stick going,
Yeah.
Something. Nothing.
Yeah, it was a bit like that. So that's it, I guess, unless you've got anything else you want to add.
Fernando Alonso, have you seen what he said this week? This could be a very sad moment, but you may have called this. 2026 might be his last year if Aston Martin's good. Now that will be a crushing blow to the sport. I'm gonna point this out. I don't want to be right about that. No, I don't think anybody ever wants Alonso to retire. I want him to be racing for Verstappen's child.
But I think I am right. I do. It was bold to say it at the time. For anyone who hasn't seen the episode, it was a 26 driver lineup one. I said that if the Aston Martin's good, Fernando Alonso is not the person to lead them forward. Lance Stroll isn't either, but let's be honest, he ain't going anywhere because the umbilical cord's still attached, weirdly enough, to his dad. Don't know how that would work, but maybe they do it differently in Canada. If you're a Canadian fan, let us know.
We love you.
Yeah, we love you. Oh, Canada. I think. I mean, I stand by it. I do. I hate to say it, but I think Fernando's time's done, unfortunately. And that might be the best prediction of anyone ever on this show. No, I think you've had some absolute belters, to be fair. Speaking of predictions, because I proved that for anyone who had anyone who paid attention to the last episode, delivery one, we did cover Ant Phil for Baku. Just remind me again who you went for, Phil.
Well, stupidly, I decided to put my love of Ferrari out there, and thanks, Lewis. Thanks, Ferrari. Yeah,
and I predicted Max. So I think that is actually probably only the second time that we've predicted the actual winner. If we didn't have the countback rule, it would be 1-1, but we do. So it's 8-4 to me now as we lead into 7 races left. You can still catch me, but I've doubled my lead. I'm quite happy about this. I was when he finished on pole, I thought yes. Because I had a shave the other day, and I think it might take me those 7 races to grow it back. So I think I'm hoping I win.
Whilst I was shaving yesterday morning, I left Natasha and went, not that bad. I don't know if anyone will ever agree with me, but we'll find out.
Just don't go and pick the kids up from school whilst you've got it.
Christ, I've got football training with them. I'll get turned away.
Yeah, anyway. you won't have for 2 weeks. Anyway, on that note, before we go down a path we don't want to go down, BBC 1980s. Before we go, just one more plug for the Singapore Sunday. So Singapore Grand Prix, 2 weeks time. There will be a live giveaway on Dave's Whatnot. Head over to Whatnot. He did actually do a show last night where he had a couple of polls, and he had a reminder. Say again.
I was just going to say they were belting those polls.
Yeah. He had some cracking pulls last night. I know he's had an Oscar Piastri signature style as well, and some really good pulls last night. There was a 1 out of 49, and I can't remember for the life of me.
Lewis.
who it was. There was Lewis. Thank you very much, Phil. Yeah, so he had a
And
number.
then 2 of 49 was Antonelli as well.
Yes, he had a numbered Hamilton, so it was 1 of 49, and he had a numbered Antonelli, which was 2 of 49. So some great pulls last night. So if you're into the trading cards, if you're into, sorry, give me 1 second because I have brought them with me. If you're into these little bad boys, that's a Lewis and that's a Charles somewhere. Hello. And then there's a McLaren duo. So there's Lando, who balls up today, and Oscar, who balled up more.
Bigger.
So yes, if you're into those cards, check out Dave on Whatnot. Some cracking pulls last night from him, and he will do a giveaway on Sunday evening, the 5th of October. Bookmark it on his channel, and there's a chance to win there. If you want to win anything from us, just purely comment below down there, Singapore Sunday on this video, and you will be entered into the draw. We will contact you if you're the winner. We'll do the draw live on the Singapore episode. So you've got this episode, and you've got whatever we do next week. They're your last 2 chances to enter, and we will do the draw on the Singapore episode. And you will win, or you might win. That is it. Have you got anything else you want to
add? No, I was going to burst out into singing Smooth Operator for the end, but I think we might be best for everyone if we don't.
No, I think we do. I think, and here to sing us out with Smooth Operator is Phil Brown. Take it away.
Smooth Operator!